Hello, I'm Damon Bailey from IELTS Wiz. In this lesson, we will examine labelling tasks for the IELTS listening test. So let's look at the features of labelling listening tasks. Labelling of maps, plans, or diagrams can appear in any of the 4 sections of the listening test, but they are most commonly found in Section 2 of the test. Section 2 is a monologue where one person is speaking, and you will need to label some parts of the illustration that is provided. The person will be talking about an everyday, non-academic topic. The person will often be giving directions, and you'll need to follow those directions. Some labels on the illustration will already be there. The answers you require to label the illustration will be in the same order as the recording. Sometimes you will be provided with a list of words, and you need to select the right word or letter to fit in the gap provided. Sometimes there will be gaps on the illustration, and you need to listen for the correct information from the recording to fill in the gap. So let's look at how to answer labeling questions. Make sure you read and follow the directions at the top of the question. Ensure you know how many words you can write, and do not exceed the maximum number of words. For example, the instructions may say, write no more than 2 words and/or a number. Observe and understand the main features of the map, plan, or diagram. For example, roads, buildings, lakes, trees, parks, or components of a piece of equipment. Observe any words on the map, plan, or diagram. For example, front door, entrance, back exit, main building, or the names of the parts of a machine. Read the questions carefully and think about what kinds of answers you will need. For example, a street name or the name of a building. What is the key feature or point where the person speaking will start giving directions from? For example, the main entrance or the front entrance of a building. I call this the starting point. Know the order of the questions. Where is the first question you will answer, and which question comes next? Understand vocabulary relating to directions and location, and try to predict which of these will be used. For example, in the north, on the corner, at the intersection. Listen to the beginning of the talk carefully, because this will help you understand the context and help you follow the talk more easily. Now here are some tips to help you to improve your score for labeling questions. Make sure you understand the order the questions will come in. Which question is coming first? Locate it on the map, plan, or diagram and follow the order of the questions. The answer in this type of listening will always come in the same order as the questions written on the paper. Have a look at what things are already labelled on the illustration. This will help you follow the listening more easily. Then try to guess how the other parts of the map, plan, or diagram could be described. Try to look at 2 questions at the same time. This is because if you hear the answer to question 4, you may have missed the answer for question 3. If this happens, try not to worry about it, as you can take your best guess later when you transfer your answers to the answer sheet. It's better for you to keep up with the recording so you only miss one question. Look closely at things that are nearby or next to the question. If question number 6 is next to a lake, a park, or a building, this feature of the illustration may be mentioned just before or after the answer to question 6. Listen closely for signposting language. This type of language helps you understand the different stages of the talk and can help you to understand when you will be moving to the next question. For example, now we are going to move to, or the next place we will visit is. Be careful with language that may trick you or cause you to write an incorrect answer. For example, this used to be the kitchen, which is in the past, but now it's located on the far side of the building. I advise students to write down things they hear on the side of the answer paper. These notes can often be very useful when you're transferring your answers at the end of the listening test. These notes can help you to guess any answers you may have missed or to check your spelling before transferring your answers to the answer sheet. So let's look at some difficulties people often have when answering labeling questions. You will need to be familiar with the kind of vocabulary that is used to give directions and to describe locations. Here are some of the types of vocabulary that you will commonly hear when listening to someone talking about maps and directions. They will use compass points such as north, south, east, or west. They may say in the northeast or in the southwest. They could say to the north, to the east, to the west. And they may use words like above or below, outside or inside, in the middle or in the center, next to, beside, adjoining, alongside, which all have very similar meaning, at the top or at the bottom, turn left, turn right, on the left, on the right-hand side or the left-hand side, go straight ahead, opposite or on the other side, in front of, behind, just beyond, just past, before you get to, slightly east of or slightly west of, clockwise or anti-clockwise, enter via. So it's good to become familiar with vocabulary that is used when giving directions. During labeling tasks, you will not only need to understand the map, plan, or diagram, but you will also need to listen to directions or descriptions and follow the recording. While doing this, you're also required to write notes and answer the questions at the same time. The best way to prepare yourself for this is to practice doing as many of these types of listening activities as possible. Due to the fact that you have so many things to do at the same time, spelling mistakes can often occur when doing these kinds of listening activities, so make sure to check your spelling. Now you can try a sample listening exercise to practice this type of question. Download the practice questions, then listen to the audio file and try to complete the activity using the tips and strategies you've learned in this video. When you've finished, download the answer key and check your answers. In the next listening lesson, we will look at completion tasks. So I look forward to seeing you in the next lesson.